Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, and in today's video we are talking power weapons. In Destiny 2, the way in which you pick and equip your weapons is going to change. Gone are the days of primary, special and heavy weapon categories, enter the days of kinetic, energy and power. I'll be speaking more about the kinetic and energy slots in a separate video that I'll aim to get out at some point this week. But today, I want to turn my attention to the power slot. See, for any of you guys that are familiar with the existing loadouts, something like, let's say for argument's sake, a scout in your primary slot, a sniper in your secondary slot, and a rocket launcher in your heavy slot, in Destiny 2, you will now have to make a conscious choice between that sniper and rocket launcher, since they both belong in the exact same slot. They are both power weapons, and it doesn't stop there. In total, we have 6 types of power weapon, at least right now. If they decide to add more, then that could well change, but from what we have right now, that is the total we have to play with. So let's recap exactly what those 6 weapon types are, and I'll also use that as an opportunity to show you guys some of the cool weapons I got a chance to use while I went hands-on in LA last week. If you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, and also let me know what you think of this new system. Also, for those of you that are expecting a weekly reset video, that will return soon, but for now, since I'm sitting on all this awesome Destiny 2 information, I wanted to make a video on this instead. Hopefully you're okay with that. Anyway, on to the weapons. Let's start things off with one of my favourite weapon archetypes, snipers. Snipers are back in Destiny 2, I mean of course they are, it's not like they were ever going to go anywhere, but now they are a power weapon. That means they use power ammo, heavy ammo for those of you guys that are Destiny 1 players. So it goes without saying that you might not be using these quite as frequently as you used to. I now like to think of snipers in Destiny 2 like snipers in Halo. You might not have them all the time, but when you get them, holy crap does it feel awesome, and you are now sure as hell going to make sure that every shot counts. Now in the gameplay we've currently seen, a few snipers have already been sighted. If you saw my video on the new exotics yesterday, then you would have already seen this rather fancy looking exotic sniper rifle complete with PC water cooling style energy coils down the side. It's not actually PC cooling, by the way, I just use that as a reference. Either way, it also appears to have a sight that highlights your targets. It looks pretty awesome, and in fact, in some of the PvP gameplay with this weapon, it actually appeared to one-shot an enemy Guardian to the body, but since we don't see their health bars, there's no way to know for sure that the Guardian wasn't already injured. However, one of the snipers I actually got a chance to use was this sweet Copperhead 4SN. It belongs to one of the new weapon foundries, Weist, who seem to have an affinity for the colour green, which I'm totally cool with. This particular one has a perk called Rapid Fire, which provides you deep ammo reserves and fast reload when the mag is empty, plus it grants you increased accuracy, stability and handling if you fire whilst crouched. It really is an awesome looking weapon, and while I only used it for a short time since I was trying to test out as many weapons as possible, it definitely felt really awesome to use. Now moving on to the next weapon type, shotguns. We're working through these ones first, since for anyone coming over from Destiny 1, this is going to require the most adjusting since you won't be equipping these in your secondary slot. That also means you will see considerably fewer shotguns in PvP encounters in the Crucible, since power ammo doesn't drop in the same way that regular ammo does, and only the person that picks up the power ammo actually gets it. So it's safe to say that you'll see shotguns probably as much as you see rocket launchers, snipers, swords, etc. But anyway, back on track. Again, throwing back to the video I uploaded yesterday, we got our first glimpse at what appears to be a rather interesting exotic shotgun that deals arc damage. This one here, during this hunter slide shot, upon firing the weapon you can see the arc blast come out the barrel, complete with these cool energy cores that shoot out as if to cool off the weapon. However, whilst playing, I got a chance to test out the retro futurist shotgun, which has 8 rounds in the magazine, although in truth, given that we didn't have a great deal of power ammo to play with, I didn't get a chance to get that many magazines off. But this also has the perk Lightweight, where you move faster with the weapon equipped. Plus, it also seems like the Cocoon perk is back, where holstering the weapon for a period of time results in it being reloaded. With regards to how the weapon feels, I would say it feels similar to Destiny 1, I mean as do all the weapons. I've always liked how weapons feel in Destiny, so the nice thing about Destiny 2 is that they feel both familiar and new at the same time. It's safe to say that shotguns will still have their uses, but we're just going to have to be a lot more deliberate in our weapon choices going forward, knowing that this slot is shared with so many others. Speaking of which, that brings me nicely on to the third weapon type that used to belong in the special slot, and that is your fusion rifle. Now, I'm probably not the only one that shares this opinion. I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking, well, if this slot contains heavy hitting weapons like rocket launchers, grenade launchers and more, then would there ever be a situation where I would honestly look to use something like a fusion rifle instead? In truth, until I can do some more in-depth testing, it's going to be hard to say. I mean, I'm hoping with these weapons transition to the power slot, they also get a power boost to match their new position. If that is the case, then there may be equal value in equipping a fusion rifle as there would a rocket launcher. But, much like I said with the shotguns, every weapon has its place. While explosions are cool, they are not always viable. Either way, food for thought, but with fusion rifles now being a power weapon, one of the potentially exotic offerings we saw again from yesterday's video looks pretty tasty. We don't have much gameplay of this, but it certainly seems to share some similarity with the likes of Pocket Affinity, with the power nodes on the top. I've seen some people mention that it even looks like a railgun. However, another fusion rifle we've seen is this Vanguard offering main ingredient. A 6-round mag and a charge time of 780, this has the perks Precision, where the recoil pattern is actually more vertical than it is horizontal, which will certainly be handy in PvE, and the ability to stack increased damage when you get kills with the weapon. It still feels cool to use, but in truth, I found it pretty hard to get excited about a Vanguard fusion rifle when there were bigger and potentially better toys to play with. So now, turning our attention to the 4th power weapon type and a new weapon type for Destiny, the grenade launcher. Grenade launchers are always fun. Doesn't matter what game you play, anytime you pick up a launcher and unleash hell on the enemy, it is just really, really satisfying. And that's no different in Destiny 2. The shots arc, so you will need to account for this, and depending on the launcher, some are single shot, like this Yellowhorn looking grenade launcher we saw the other day, or this portal gun looking device that seems to shoot out a wide blast of energy instead. Meanwhile, others have considerably bigger barrels. The one that I got a chance to test out was this Nadod-D launcher that dealt solar damage. It has 7 rounds in the magazine, so while it is pretty slow to reload, once you're locked and loaded, you're ready to just unload explosive hell on the enemy. Paired with the perk Aggressive, this had high damage at the cost of high recoil, and there's also this rather interesting perk that automatically reloads a portion of the magazine when you are critically wounded, which makes it pretty handy for putting in a few of those extra shots in a boss encounter when perhaps you are the focus of the boss's attention, your health is getting low, and you can kind of do that last-ditch attempt to try and finish it off. It's safe to say, these are definitely one of my favourite new weapons to mess around with, second only to the SMGs. I appreciate it's easy to say that. I mean, anything new is always exciting, and to remain objective, I'm not sure at this stage whether these would replace rocket launchers in high-level boss encounters or even raids, knowing that they do have arcing shots and shorter range, but I certainly think these are going to have great value when dealing with large groups of enemies. Either way, speaking of the partner in crime, your 6th power weapon is indeed the rocket launcher. Now in truth, I don't need to say much about this weapon. I mean, whether you play Destiny 1 or not, you know what a rocket launcher is and what it does. The one I had a chance to test out was the Morrigan-D. This actually belongs to the Hacker Weapon Foundry. It's a 1 rocket in the chamber kind of weapon, so you'll want to make sure that shot counts. But the perk Hacker Precision fires small auto-tracking missiles, plus it also has faster time to aim down sights if you're looking to be a little bit more precise. But in truth, what is far more exciting is the fact that we'll be seeing the dubious volley in-game. Seen during the gameplay trailer, this is a weapon we've been chasing for a long time in Destiny 1, assuming that one day it would be added, but as it so happens, it was intended for greater things. This arc-dealing Megaton microphone looks like an absolute beast, dishing out huge volleys of explosives, resulting in suitably sized splash damage. This is definitely something I'm looking forward to finding in Destiny 2. Now finally, onto the last weapon archetype in the category, swords. If you saw my video the other day, then you will know that yes, swords are indeed returning. So far we've seen 5 swords in total, 4 if you don't want to count the razor lighter seen on Lord Shaxx's back. What's interesting about swords in Destiny 2, however, is that they appear to behave differently, or at least we appear to wield them differently, depending on our class. Hunters have a low one-handed stance, Titans adopt a much more powerful two-handed stance, something akin to that of a knight, and Warlocks, well, outside of their super, we really don't know. We've seen a few in action, and given how cool they look, even with the new kid on the block, the grenade launcher, it's honestly going to be quite hard for me to put something in my power slot that isn't a sword, at least until I fight a boss and he stomps on me for getting too close. But either way, that is pretty much it. Snipers, shotguns, fusion rifles, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, and swords. These are your 6 power weapon types in Destiny 2. You'll need to pick the one for your encounter or the one you like best, but you will only be able to use one at a time. Now that's pretty much it for this video. Again, as a reminder, my Destiny giveaway is still running. It ends next week, so if you guys haven't already entered for a chance to win these 3D printed Guardian statues and a giant foam Hammer of Sol, then click the link in the description box down below to enter. Be sure to comment down below as well and let me know what you guys think of these new changes and these weapons. And also keep it locked because I've got plenty more Destiny 2 videos coming your way. But until then, thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.